Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today it's a hodgepodge of stuff. It's like the Thanksgiving leftovers. You've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we're just putting it all together and making like a nice plate. So, anyway, and to that point, I was remiss in Tuesday's episode in wishing all of you a happy Thanksgiving, and so I hope those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving had a good one. I know I did. Lots of food. Very, very good food. And anyway, just want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. We'll circle back to that a little bit later on. But first, we're going to fire up a cigar. And today, I have a special cigar. I have the 2024 Villiger TAA exclusive from Villiger Cigars. And let's just talk about the cigar. They sent me a handy-dandy little card to tell me all about it, which is nice. So the Villiger TAA 2024 delivers notes of brown sugar, wood, almonds, and leather with a sweet honey finish. I'm looking forward to trying that. The Villiger TAA 2024 is made at the Maya Silva Cigars factory. The wrapper is... Well, it's a Honduran Puro, and the strength is medium, according to this card. And production was limited to 500 boxes of 20 cigars. It is a 6x52 Toro, and the MSRP on this guy is $15. So, I'm going to go ahead and get going with this, because I've been looking forward to this since I got it in the mail, and I am really looking forward to trying this cigar, because I love the different TAA cigars that Villiger puts out. The TAA 2020 was actually my first Villiger cigar, and it was just lights out, wonderful, wonderful smoke. And so I'm looking forward to giving this one a shot. So before we do that, we have to cut the cigar. And the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2, guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family-owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. There's nothing else you could possibly want from a cigar website. So please go to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. Put it in the little comment thing there. And just remember, that's the number 2, guyscigars.com. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. So while I prep that, we have the fancy little yellow and silver footband here we need to take off before we light this guy, because, you know, we don't want to light the footband. I trim my nails, and it's hard to get a handle on the band. There we go. You ever do that? You trim your nails really short to where then it's like difficult getting the cigar band off? Happens to me all the time. So anyway, while we're doing that, why don't we listen to the greatest commercial you've ever heard?
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so, they can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars uses authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard. Yeah.
So, right off the bat, the cold draw on this guy was had a little bit of like a woody component to the cold draw. It was good. It was a good cold draw. And now that we've lit it up, right off the foot here, the initial thought off the light is that it's smooth off the foot. It's not hitting me with like, any sort of intense flavor, right off the bat. So we're gonna give this guy a smoke, and we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna take our time with it. So anyway, so like I said, I've got a bit of it's a bit of a random episode. We have all kinds of stuff to address and get to. So first things first, we're gonna do a little bit of cigar news. So we have two little bits of cigar news that I want to point out. The first is one that dropped on Monday, and it's one that not only made me excited, but evidently y'all know me pretty well because I got a number of messages from listeners about this. Cigar Aficionado reported on Monday that the Henry Clay Warhawk Rebellious, which you may remember, first came out in 2020 as a limited offering from Altadis. It was a Henry Clay Warhawk that was produced in Honduras, and it was made by A.J. Fernandez with Nicaraguan tobacco. I'm sorry. The original Warhawk is made in Honduras. The Rebellious is made in Nicaragua by A.J. Fernandez. So this is a limited release that they've done. It's and if you like the Henry Clay Warhawk, the Rebellious is the Warhawk on steroids. It's got more spice, more strength to it. I loved it when it came out in 2020. I bought a box I tried it. I bought a box, loved it. Smoked through another box that my shop at the time had open, and I know I bought the lion's share of that box as singles. And then before it was all said and done, I bought another box. So that means I bought two boxes, and then I essentially bought a third by buying the singles. And I've been sitting on that last box this whole time. I still have, so 4 years of age on that thing, and I still have probably about half of it left in my humidor at this point. And I've been very slowly this year making my way through it, and it's just such a wonderful cigar. But Cigar Aficionado announced that the Henry Clay Warhawk Rebellious is making a comeback. So the size remains the same. It's still going to be a 6x54 Toro. It's still limited edition, still all Nicaraguan tobacco, including the same Habano seed wrapper. But Altadis decided to make more boxes this time around. They're making twice as many. They went from 1,200 boxes in 2020 to 3,000 boxes in 2024. So a little more than twice as many, actually. The cigar also, unfortunately, as with everything these days, went up in price. It was, according to them, $9.60 per cigar 4 years ago, and it will now be $14 a cigar this time around. And it comes in 20-count boxes. And this Henry Clay Warhawk Rebellious should actually start shipping next week. So the news drops, and I don't have long to wait, which is nice. So needless to say, I will be keeping my eye out for the Henry Clay Warhawk Rebellious. And for those of you who have heard me talking about it and just couldn't get your hands on it for one reason or another, and I understand why, if it's a 4-year-old limited, production thing, it's definitely something you should keep your eyes out for if you like medium to medium plus and a nice spicy cigar. So anyway, got that going on. And next, we're starting to get into the season where we start talking about top cigar lists. And I'm still working on getting everything set up for the parishioners thing. Parishioners, be watching, because when that drops, you're not going to have a lot of time to get, I guess it doesn't have to get announced this year. It can be announced in January. Who cares? But the bottom line is, I will get the information about how to submit cigars for the Parishioners top list and to do the voting and everything. But for right now, I'm still working on it. But that didn't stop Cigar and Spirits Magazine. And it's not a magazine I talk about too terribly often. It's apparently very big overseas, along with Cigar Journal. But they announced their top 25 list of 2024. And I figured, you know what? Let's go through their list. We don't necessarily have to go through all of them. I might highlight a couple of the lower, sub number 10, entries just to kind of see what's what, kind of give an idea. But coming in at number 25, we have the Miami Cigar and Company Nestor Miranda NM80, and that's the one that celebrates Nestor Miranda's 80th birthday. Then at number 24, you have the Drew Estate Liga Privada number 9 Flying Pig. Then let's jump ahead a little bit. Why not? We don't need to do all those. Number 20, we have the Casada 50th anniversary from Manuel Casada. Number 19, we have the EP Carrillo Encore Black. That was, you know what? I think I have 2 of those in the humidor. I have not smoked yet, so I need to give those a try if they're coming in at number 19 on this list. We have, let's keep going here a little bit further down. I swear I did look at this. Number 13, we have the Ferio Tego Timeless Prestige in the short Perfecto. It's a little Perfecto guy. Then let's go ahead. Yeah, and then at that point, let's go ahead and get into the top 10. Because that's where the action is. Let's be real. Do we really care? I mean, not to diminish everybody who made 11 through 25, but the action's in the top 10. So coming in at number 10, we have the Aganorsa Leaf Aniversario Maduro Robusto. And it says this Aganorsa cigar is a rich, full-bodied profile. There are evident tastes of deep cocoa, earth, and spice. The Aniversario Maduro's robust character offers distinct sense of leather throughout the smoking session, and the draw is superb. And I've had that cigar, and I do like that cigar. That is a good flavor bomb. So congratulations to Aganorsa Leaf for the number 10 spot. Coming in at number 9, we have the La Aurora 120th Anniversary Limited Edition Lancero, and they give a little information here about the company and all that, and they basically say this refined cigar is wrapped in cedarwood, causing an evident aromatic foundation. Tastes are elegantly nuanced with black licorice, vanilla, espresso, and a touch of zesty cinnamon. So, you got the La Aurora 120th Anniversary Lancero coming in at number 9. Then at number 8, we have the My Father number 4 Lancero. And it says that this gorgeous Lancero is one of many standout cigars from the Garcia family and offers a classic My Father flavor profile. You'll experience evident tasting notes of rich earth, coffee, black pepper, and allspice. A couple Lanceros coming in there. And then number 7, ironically enough, because the name is the El Septimo Culinary Art Collection Japan Nigori in the Corona Gorda size. The notes on this say that Nigori Sake is the inspiration for this creamy and elegant cigar. The creamy tastes of fruit, custard, and vanilla are standout flavors in the Nigori. The smoke output is abundant and offers sweet scents of fruit and ginger. I'll be honest, and not to shit on a company or anything like that, but I haven't really smoked much in the way of El Septimo. I had a couple of samples that I received at TPE a couple years back, and I'll be honest, they didn't blow me away. I have not tried this one. Maybe this is the winner, but I have not been, somebody who's been like, oh yeah, El Septimo. But for what it's worth, they made number 7 on this list. Coming in at number 6, we have the JM Tobacco Espanola Year of the Dragon in the Toro size. And Espanola commemorates the Year of the Dragon in stellar fashion. This is a creamy cigar with an inviting sweet molasses taste throughout. The draw is excellent, and the smoker will experience evident tastes of cashew and cocoa. The abundance of aromatic smoke output adds more relaxation to the smoking session. So, another one that I haven't tried, but it's a very nice description, so that's good. Sorry, I'm trying to enjoy my cigar while I do this. Then at number 5, we have Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, the Sobremesa Brûlée Toro. It says that the Sobremesa is another fine blend by Steve Saka. It hits that sweet spot if you're looking for a late morning Java pick-me-up. The cigar is creamy, smooth, and features an effortless draw. There are wonderful tastes featuring crisp pears, light cream, berries, and butterscotch. Just when you think that the flavor notes can't get more exotic, you start reading Cigar and Spirits, and suddenly, you're getting crisp pears and butterscotch. Then at number 4, we have the Warped Cigars, La Isla del Cocodrilo, in the Corona Gorda size. I really should have probably made sure I had pronunciations of all these before I started doing it. But this cigar's inspiration originates from the island of Cuba, known as the Island of Crocodile. It's a rustic and complex cigar with tastes and scents of molasses, apple cider, and cedar. It's expertly crafted, feels strong in the hand, and the ash is formidable. It's a formidable ash. Gotta love a formidable ash. Then at number 3 is one from Plasencia. It's the Almafuerte Colorado Claro Eduardo number 1 in the Toro size. And it says that this handsome cigar has become a go-to for Plasencia brand fans over the past couple of years. It's delicious, smoky, earthy, and has a touch of honey sweetness that puts it over the top. The ample smoke output is aromatic with an almond scent, and the draw and burn are stellar. I don't smoke Plasencia very often, mostly due to the price point, but let me tell you, when I do, it's always really, really good. So that description does not surprise me in the least. Then at number 2, we have one. It is the Artesano del Tabaco El Pulpo, and it is a box press torpedo. This cigar offering has been highly lauded over the past year or so, and the El Popo deservedly makes this year's top list. The El Popo, the octopus in Spanish, has a smooth draw, appears strong and refined in the hand, and offers an abundance of flavors. Roasted chestnuts, coffee, black, and savory apple cinnamon are all there for the taking. For those of you who are familiar with the Viva La Vida cigar, that would be the other one from these fine folks, and the El Popo is, I guess, their newest one. So, and then here is the big news. This is fun. This is big news, and I don't have it on my little board here, but I should have had. I'm gonna do this. We have at number 1 the Aladino Fumanoche Super Toro. And the Fumanoche is Spanish for night smoke. The cigar is handsome, featuring an enticing oily feel in the hand. The tastes are rustic, earthy, and flavorful. The draw is ideal. There is no shortage of scents and tastes, including barbecue smokiness, dark coffee, and hints of spicy anise. Quite a nuanced blend. So congratulations to Justo and all the fine folks over there at Aladino Cigars for taking the number 1 spot on the Cigar and Spirits top 25 of 2024 with the Fumanoche. That's a big accomplishment, one that should not be overlooked, and we wanted to make sure that they got their spot in the sun. So I'm excited for them. It's a great cigar. If you guys haven't had the Fumanoche, go out and try a Fumanoche. It's definitely a night smoke. It's going to be a stronger, more stout smoke, to end your day. But I enjoy it, and I would think that the vast majority of you probably will as well. So, now that we have that bit of cigar news out of the way, the next thing I want to do in this hodgepodge episode is let's do this.
Shall we play a game?
You talking to me? I have a question for you.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Ask me about my wiener!
You got a question? You ask the 8-Ball.
Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
That's right, guys. It's time for a little bit of Ask the Pulpit. I've racked up a couple of phone calls. It's been a minute since I've done it, and I figured, you know what? Let's go ahead and address these now. Kind of gives me that opportunity to just kind of round out the show and add a little bit more content to it. So let's go ahead and what is the last one I listened to from this gentleman? I think it's that one. So yeah, let's go ahead and listen to the first call here. Maybe.
Hey, Nick, it's Dennis from the hinterlands of Western Canada calling. Just wanted to
What's up,
say
Dennis?
hello. Just listened to Trey Mack, the most recent episode from the 5th of November, and your dad talking. Really good episodes, as always. I think my last call was a little discombobulated, so I apologize for that. But I promise I will have some good questions for you when I collect my thoughts, which I should have done before I phoned. But yeah, really enjoyed the show with Trey Mack. Very appropriate episodes here with the election and all in your neck of the woods. Now we just need one in Canada to sort things out. If I can, I'm very happy that Trump won. We were all watching it here, at least in our little neck of the woods. And we were texting some cousins in the U.S. of mine. They were watching with bated breath as well. So, happy dance here. Anyhow, take her easy, Nick.
And if
When I
she's
get
easy,
my
take
poop
her
in a
twice.
group, I will call you back. Cheers for now. Stay smoking, my friend.
Always good to hear from you, Dennis. And he did call back. So we'll go ahead and listen to the next one here from Dennis.
Hey, Nick, it's Dennis calling again. Just listened to the latest episode, November 8th, 2024. And a couple more questions for you here.
Okay.
Jerry Pulaski, did he sneak into Canada with his court-appointed guardian wasn't looking? If I understood him right, he was underneath 200 pounds of rotten cucumbers. And we grow a shit ton of cucumbers here where I live in greenhouses. So I just wondered if maybe he snuck away somehow and pulled a fast one. Anyhow, next question. Your dad and Trey Mack there in the last two episodes talking about Medicare and Obamacare and such got me thinking with flu and cold season coming, if I have a fever, the only prescription is more cigar pulpit as I can see it.
See, I've heard more
Stay
cowbell.
smoky. Talk to you later, Nick. Bye.
Well, I've always been told, you got a fever, it's more cowbell, but, I mean, whatever. I mean, you take whatever you feel is appropriate for your fever. As for Jerry Pulaski, he's a wily guy. You never know where he's going to end up. So is it possible that he snuck across the border into Canada? It is possible. There was a joke there about pickles. I don't know. I did follow up on that, and I'm not quite entirely sure. I don't remember now, but it's something about pickles. But he's wily, so it is possible. I didn't realize that Canada grew a shit ton of cucumbers. I mean, it just goes to show my ignorance of the export products of Canada. I mean, other than maple syrup and hockey, I didn't know. But cucumbers. I mean, I like cucumber. I put cucumbers on a lot of sandwiches. I do like tzatziki sauce. which the Greek on my gyros, and I believe that's got cucumber in it. It's good. And I mean, I do enjoy cucumber, and I do like a nice pickle. So, and that would be a pickled cucumber. So, for what it's worth. But in terms of where Jerry Pulaski is these days, Dennis, buddy, I'd never know. He's tried to get me to accept the tracking device so that I can keep tabs on him, so that it will make John Quimby happy. But I don't want that responsibility. I don't want that level of responsibility with him. So no, I don't know where Jerry Pulaski is. It's just one of those things. Nobody needs to know that. Anyway, Dennis called one more time, so we'll go ahead and listen to that, and then we'll move on to the next caller here.
Hey, Nick, it's Dennis from the hinterlands of Western Canada calling again. I'm not usually a repeat caller, but just
You're
listening
not.
to
But that's okay.
the most recent episode with you and Cherry Chernobyl talking about bears and raccoons and skunks. I did have a couple had a couple questions there for Cherry Chernobyl.
I'll have to circle out.
You put me on to Fallout with the entertainment section of your show, which was good. I really enjoyed that.
Oh.
So I'm just wondering if she's ever watched that show with Walton Goggins.
I don't know.
And there was another similar show. It was called Jericho. It was on Netflix. I want to say like 15 years ago, but kind of a similar theme, but I don't want to spoil it and get into long details, but it's pretty good. It's got Gerald McCraney in it, and crap, I can't remember who else, but there's some good people in it. There's about one season, I think. It comes to a conclusion, but just wondering if she's ever seen those shows and what she thought of it, and if you've ever seen Jericho and what you thought of it. As far as skunks, yeah, I would say just run away. I had a friend that shot a skunk in a tent one time while he was out hunting. He was not popular with the other fellas. Yeah.
I would think not. I would definitely think not, Dennis. It seems like you got cut off there. Yeah, I would definitely think not. I would not want to be in a tent with somebody who just shot a skunk. Something tells me that the fallout on that, fallout, and you reference that, would be pretty rough. In terms of the show Jericho, I have not seen it. I'll have to check with her if she's seen it. But in terms of, I vaguely remember seeing it on Netflix, but I didn't watch it. I don't really know why. I don't remember if that was a CW show, or I don't remember who produced that and everything. But yeah, I do remember. I know of it, but I don't know what it's about, and I don't know, whatever. But if it's anything like Fallout, then I might be interested, because I do enjoy Fallout. I did just see that Fallout was they were getting ready to start filming, I think, on season 2, which pisses me off, because with these streamers, they put out a season of a show, and I don't know, maybe they don't know if it's going to be popular. Maybe Amazon wasn't sure if Fallout was going to be popular, but I would think that you could probably watch it and determine, we probably ought to go ahead and commit to a second season on this. And, the problem is, by the time they film it and put it out, it's going to be freaking forever between season 1 and season 2. So now I'm going to have to go, and maybe that's their grand plan, is to force me to go back and watch season 1 to get caught up again. But it pisses me off. It's one of those things where when season 1 ends, by God, I expect season 2 in the next 6 months or less. Kind of like when you used to watch TV, on the over-the-air broadcast. When a seasons typically started in the fall, they would run until sometime in the spring. You would take the summer off. It'd be summer rerun season and everything, and then the new season would start in the fall again. Why the hell can't we have that with the streaming platforms? Stranger Things. That's a good one. Let's talk about Stranger Things. Season 4 of Stranger Things came out in, 2022? Because I remember I was dating the Hateful Shrew at the time, and we watched it. And that came out in 2024. Now, I realize there were actor strikes and writer strikes, that took place in, 2023. But explain to me why Netflix, who knows full damn well that they're going to go ahead and do the final season, season 5. Why in the world do they not have that thing locked, loaded, ready to go, that the minute they're already dropping season 4 on their platform, that maybe everybody's already filming season 5? Get it done. Don't have this weird lag where it's like years in between. And my God, now season 5 is going to hit in 2025 to where you're going to have 3 freaking years between seasons on this. Some of these characters, you look at the actors from season 1 and compare them to what they look like. It's ridiculous the amount of time that they've taken in between these seasons of this show. And I wish these these streamers would get on board with getting the next seasons going so that, we're not sitting and waiting forever. But anyway, that's my streaming rant. So, all right, let's go ahead and listen to this next call.
Yeah, this is Mike from North Carolina. Listen to your show on free speech. I agree. YouTube not being fair. Like, for example, there's a 40-plus-year-old retired registered nurse who does a podcast, not a podcast, but a YouTube show. She's naked, except her back is to a mirror, and she's modeling lingerie. So, some young boy would watch that instead of watching somebody on YouTube smoke a cigar. Not fair, not right. I served this country for 30 years in the military, and I believe in the Constitution. So stay smoky, my friend.
Mike, I really appreciate that. And I had some good feedback on that episode about my issues with YouTube. And the thing is, I don't have a problem necessarily with this nurse doing her, naked show. I don't have a problem with naked yoga on YouTube. I don't have a problem with, I honestly... Personally, I don't really have a problem with, marijuana-related content on there. I think I probably draw the line on a YouTube video about the best places where you can sell cocaine. I think that probably is over the line, but whatever. The bottom line is, I guess if you're going to allow that, then you need to allow me smoking cigar and talking about twoguyscigars.com. Because I suspect, there's suspicion that maybe, that's what they done. When they ding me, they cited the fact that I promoted a place where you could purchase tobacco products. So the cut commercial in the beginning about twoguyscigars.com is what they cited as why they took that episode down. And the thing is, I think it's crap that I can't say that, but yet you can have a video saying the best places to sell cocaine. Because by default, what that also means is you can learn from that episode the best places to purchase cocaine. It's ridiculous, but no, that's the YouTube that we're living with. And thankfully, I've gotten up on Rumble. A number of you have already signed up on Rumble and followed me. I encourage everybody who watches on YouTube, everybody who follows me on YouTube, to head over to Rumble, start an account, follow me on Rumble, because there's going to be a day that my channel on YouTube is gone, and Rumble is going to be where you can find me. Additionally, Spotify. I've been uploading the videos to Spotify with this, so you get the video on Spotify. Now, there is one thing I've learned since doing this that I do want to highlight about Spotify. For those of you who are watching the video on Spotify, or specifically those of you who are listening to the audio version of the show on Spotify. So when you upload the video to Spotify, Spotify no longer uses the audio file, the MP3 file that I upload to my podcast stream. It no longer uses that as the audio for the audio version of the podcast. What it does is it pulls the audio from the video that I uploaded, and it just gives you the audio if you want to listen to audio only. Hopefully you're following me. Where this becomes a bit of a sticky wicket is when I do an episode using Zoom, specifically a whole episode using Zoom. So for those of you on YouTube, you're aware of this. When I upload the episodes where I do a whole episode on Zoom, typically, I mean, my last one I think I did was with the one with Trey Mac, where on Election Day, where I literally from start to finish, the whole thing is a Zoom recording. I didn't do that with the episode with Lito Gomez Jr. I recorded the interview, and then I bookended it with audio and video from here in my garage. But when I upload the Zoom video to YouTube, you're aware that the audio quality of that recording, it's not quite as great as, let's say, the audio quality of the video I'm recording right now for you, that you're listening right now to. And that's because I do a lot of editing with the ones like this, where I drop the audio file from my board with the video, and I put them together, match them up, and so I clean up the audio, for this. I can't do that with Zoom because of the lag time of the video conferencing. So what you'll end up with is a Godzilla movie where somebody's talking and then their lips aren't matching up to it. So I don't do that. So what that means for Spotify for video is when I have an episode come up where it's entirely on Zoom, the audio quality of the audio version of that show will not be as great as it will be on Apple, podcasts, Podbean, or any of the other podcast catchers that, you might be using, because the Spotify platform is going to take the audio from the video, not from the audio file that I upload. I hope that made some sense. I probably made that way more complicated than it needed to be. But I just want to say, you'll be able to listen to it. It's going to be what it is. But like my intro music kind of like cuts out because of the levels and all this I don't know. The bottom line is Zoom kind of sucks. I'm trying to find a better thing to do this with. Part of, I think, my issue is that I use an iPad for recording and for the Zoom and the video conferencing. And I tried StreamYard, I think was one. That just didn't work. There's been a couple that I've tried. But it always just keeps coming back to Zoom because Zoom just, while it's not as great, it just works. It seems to work for me. So I need to find one that works that is better. But that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an update as to things that I've learned in this process. But yeah, no, Mike, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate your input. Yeah, man, you didn't fight for freedoms and liberties to be restricted. But that's kind of the world that we're in right now. And it's going to take a lot of us fighting against it to pull it back to some sense of normalcy. So, anyway, we have, looks like, what in the world? Looks like we've got one more call here. So let's go ahead, do this, and we'll cap out the Ask the Pulpit for right now.
Hey, Nick. This is Dave from California, People's Republic of California.
What's up, Dave?
Calling. I've been thinking recently, I was listening to some episodes and just catching up in the pulpit and got me thinking, life is short, Nick, and holidays are coming up, and you really have a couple choices in life. You can go through life and you can hold grudges against people and never make amends and be worse for it in the long run. Or you can go ahead and just be the bigger man, make amends, and make peace with those that you have issues with. And
where is this going?
I think you know where I'm going with this, Nick. I think it's time for you to make up with Pastor Barnaby. I know the incident goes back to the fight and he stole your cigar, but that wasn't his fault, Nick. That was the other host who gave him that cigar.
This is true.
I just think that it's time to maybe make amends, bring Barnaby back into the fold, give him a chance to preach again on the pulpit. I think your listeners would be blessed and really edified by him and his words and his pastoral presence. I think you should think about it, Nick. Have a great day, Nick, and I'll be holding out hope that you can be a bigger man and make amends with Pastor Barnaby. Thanks, Nick.
Dave.
Have a good day.
Dave, you had me kind of sitting here. I could have made coal into a diamond in my butthole, like during the beginning part of that call. I'm like, where? Because I don't screen these, so I'm like, where is he going with this? And I'm like, how awkward is this going to get? But no, you brought it to Pastor Barnaby, and I'm thankful for that. You're right. Maybe I need to, reach out and see if we can get Pastor Barnaby back for Christmas time. For those of you who are more recent listeners, it's been a minute since Barnaby's been on, but Pastor Barnaby is the head of the Church of the Holy Perdomo, and he's a cigar-loving preacher in a church based around cigars, and he's done some Christmas and Easter sermons here on the pulpit, and maybe that's it. Maybe for Christmas. I need to reach out and see if I can get Pastor Barnaby to make an appearance. So we shall see, Dave. I appreciate the call. Boy, I'll tell you what. You have got some shit going on out there in California, and let me see if I can find an article about it. Yes, here. So there's a new law in California, and it was passed. This was passed, signed by the governor. This is a new law, and it is AB 3218. This is according to Half Wheel, but the news was essentially broken on the Cigar Authority after show a little bit, just a week or two back. But this law hopes to stop the sale of most flavored tobacco products in California. They passed a flavored tobacco ban in the summer of 2020, but that law wasn't clear about how the ban would actually function. However, this new one cleaned it up. And the California Attorney General's office is going to be tasked to create a list of unflavored tobacco products. If a product is on the list, it is legal to sell in California. If it doesn't appear on the list, it's probably illegal to sell. And then from there, it gets down into all kinds of, muddy waters. But the long and short of it is that there's going to be a lot of money being involved. Manufacturers are going to have to pay annually to register their products with the state. You're going to have companies doing, getting licenses to sell into California. There are pretty big penalties if you're caught selling stuff that they will stop selling in California. But the thing is, they're going to have to register. It's not just a matter of registering the flavor. They have to register their unflavored stuff. They have to register everything, all their SKUs. And, it's I don't know, man. This is, do yourself a favor and go. It was an article that was put up on November 21st on Half Wheel titled "New Law Threatens Sale of Cigars in California." Google that and read through it if you're in California, because let me tell you, this is bad. This is really, really bad. And I'm going to be very blunt and direct for a moment, and I hope that nobody takes offense. It's my assessment of the situation. But there were some people that were really asleep at the switch on this one. And I understand that we've talked about CRA and PCA and all these different organizations, not having the manpower to be able to fight every single thing that comes up, even though that's what they're there for. But there were some people asleep at the switch, and the group I directly blame probably the most for this are the retailers in California. And I don't mean to shit on people that are already looking at getting a mountain of shit put on them, but how is it that your government can push this through and you're just completely unaware of it? And so, this is something that this is a good. Not only do the people need to fight against this law in California, but let's be real, it's passed, it's signed. So it's going to be really, really hard to pull this back, especially given the amount of money that they're talking. California, they're making some cash on this thing. So they're not going to want to pull this back. But aside from that, I feel like it was negligent on the part of retailers, because you need to be paying attention to what's going on in your backyard. PCA, CRA, all these different organizations, they can come in and help you, but it's hard for them to monitor every piece of legislation put forth in not just the federal government, but also 50 different state houses, and then also, let's be real, taking it down sometimes to the city level. Because sometimes cities are pushing for smoking bans and various things of that nature, and they come in and assist. So, where this all comes down, everybody needs to be working together. And these retailers in California were asleep at the switch and allowed a really hellaciously bad bill to get passed. And it may very well cost them their livelihoods. I don't know, but it's not good. And it's not good for the retailers. It's not good for the consumers in California. It's not good for the manufacturers who ship and sell products in California. This is not good. And anyway, if you're in California and you're not aware of this, you should probably become very aware of it, because it's going to impact you. And it also means that you probably want to start stocking up on cigars in some cases, because it may be difficult for you to get your hands on stuff, sooner rather than later. But that's my 2 cents on that. So anyway, let's go ahead and close out Ask the Pulpit. I am liking this TAA 2024. It is it's a very nice, smooth, good cigar on the smoking experience. I will say I did do a retrohale during one of those calls. Those of you watching the video would have seen my eyes bulge out of my head. There's some strength to the retrohale on this thing. But the actual smoking experience is very smooth, very enjoyable. I'm liking it a lot. It is a good cigar. It's a slight bit of that brown sugar that they referenced in the descriptive there, and definitely some, like, it doesn't say it on the card, but man, there's definitely some strength and some peppery notes to the retrohale. So speaking of Villiger, let's go ahead and jump into this. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. So I've actually watched a few things this week, but unfortunately none of it is like super, super new. It's just things that I've watched. So it's not Christmas time until, for me, I watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I have to watch Christmas Vacation. of all of all the Christmas movies out there. I know some people are like, oh, I love Elf. I love It's a Wonderful Life. I love Scrooged. I love all these other ones. Christmas Vacation is that sweet spot for me. I just love that movie so much. I do have the leg lamp from A Christmas Story on my table behind me, but I'm a little burned out on Christmas Story. The 24 Hours of Christmas Story has definitely hurt that movie for me. It used to be a big favorite for me. And now the fact that you can watch it 24 hours on Christmas Day, and then also not just on one channel, but like 3 different channels that I think like Turner Broadcasting or whoever the hell owns that now owns. I mean, the fact that TNT, TBS, and like one other one, it's insane. You can see Christmas Story all over the place. Anyway, Christmas Vacation is an evergreen classic for me. It's just perfect. There's so many one-liners in there that I use on the regular. Like whenever everybody's kind of grousing at me and they're asking me something, I'm like, I don't know, Margot. And it's just so many great lines. So Christmas Vacation, had to watch that. The other one that I watched recently, it hit Hulu, and I found myself just kind of scrolling and wanting to watch something. But I watched Alien Romulus, and I watched it in the theater, and I've now watched it on Hulu, and I enjoyed it. It was good in the theater. I enjoyed it on TV too. I will say, if you like the first Alien movie with Sigourney Weaver, and you like Aliens, the second one with Sigourney Weaver, this is a really good movie. It fits right in the middle of in between them. And it's kind of what happened after the first one, but before the second one. And, it's a fun movie. It's scary at times. It's got all the good components of an Alien movie that you're looking for. There's one extraordinarily fucked up stuff that happens at the end, and I won't get into that because no spoilers. But yeah, Alien Romulus, good movie. I liked it, and they've got an Alien TV show coming out on FX. I think it's called like Alien Earth, where the aliens come to Earth, and so I'm curious as to how that's gonna play out and be good. I don't know. We'll check it out, but I'm happy to see that Disney, since purchasing Fox, is starting to explore and use some of these other properties. They did the new Predator movie called Prey on Hulu. That dropped on Hulu, and I still haven't watched that, but I hear really good things about that. And then now you have this new Alien movie, so I'm happy that they're utilizing some of these other properties than just going to buy Fox just to strip mine all the Marvel characters that Fox had control of and to use them. I'm glad that they're realizing, oh shit, we have other stuff that we bought from Fox. We ought to think about using these. So that's good. I enjoyed that. So anyway, that would be the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report. So now let's go ahead and do this. It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars, can't clip our wings. So I've got an interesting one for you today. We have the story of Qing Shi. Qing Shi was a Chinese prostitute who married a pirate and took over his fleet when he died. She ran her ships with an iron fist and took no shit, and was super successful, to the point that the Chinese government sent out an armada to stop her. She kicked their asses and captured 63 of their ships. She fought for 2 years and even brought in Dutch and British ships before they gave up, and offered amnesty to her and her 17,000 crewmen. She got to keep all of their loot, spent her later years running a brothel/casino, and lived to the ripe old age of 69. So guys, be like Qing Shi and Blackbird Cigars, and don't let anybody clip your wings. Ching Shi. Sorry, I think I said Shin Chi. It's Ching Shi. So, anyway, yeah. So you got a Chinese prostitute who became a pirate. So, it's pretty cool. I don't know. I dig it. So, anyway.
Guess what, motherfucker?
It's time for 3 cigars you smoked and enjoyed this week. And let me go to my list here, my handy-dandy list. I'm going to be doing a episode at the end of the year where I recap this list and go over all the different stuff. I'm going to break it down. It's going to be cigars by the numbers, 2024 by the numbers. And we're going to go through all of that fun stuff and talk about all the different cigars I've smoked. But for now, let's go over the list here. So first up, we have a cigar that I smoked and enjoyed the other day while driving around. And, it smoked really, really well in the car. I was surprised. I was worried it was going to be a little too light. But it smoked really well in the car, and I really did enjoy it. And that was the La Giana Natural Toro from United Cigars. And good cigar. It was lighter than perhaps some of the ones I normally smoke, but it did have some good flavor to it, and it held up to the wind in the car, and I was really happy about that. Next up, I smoked the Perdomo 10th Anniversary Sun-Grown Epicure. That's not one I normally, I like the 10th Anniversary Sun-Grown a lot. Lately, I've been smoking a lot more of the 20th Anniversary Sun-Grown because I bought a box of those out at the Cigar Expo, and so I just happened to have those on hand. But I did get my hands on one of the 10th Anniversary, and it smoked like an absolute champ, and I really did enjoy that. And then the last one I smoked and enjoyed is one that is a throwback to Tuesday's episode, and that was the LFD Solus. I really, really enjoyed that cigar a lot after I've put some, put a little bit of reflection back on smoking that, and that was a damn fine smoke, and very different from the offerings of La Flor Dominicana, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So, guys, if you're not maybe one that likes a cigar that slits your throat and then, curb stomps you afterwards, but you want to try something from LFD, try the Solus. Fantastic cigar. I really did enjoy that. It was very smooth, very mellow, or it was medium, I'd say. It had some strength, but good flavor to it, and it smoked wonderfully. I really did enjoy the LFD Solus. So anyway, that would be 3 cigars I smoked and enjoyed this week. So I guess it's now time where I talk about the socials. I'm available on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. You can get in on the fun there. Twitter/X. I'm on YouTube for now. We'll see how that's a week-to-week thing. I'm on Rumble. Guys, get over to Rumble. Sign up for Rumble. Follow me on Rumble. I'll tell you what, it's been good to me so far, and I feel like in terms of video platforms, that's going to be more free than YouTube is going to be in terms of content. I will say, but then again, YouTube's got it. The advertisements kind of bug me a little bit, but for what it's worth, and I know nobody likes to have ads in their show, but the one difference I will say, and it's amounted to a whopping 4 cents for me so far. Rumble at least monetizes my videos, whereas YouTube does not allow me to make any money off my videos. So, for what it's worth, at least Rumble's going to share the rewards with me. It's just not a lot of rewards. I mean, if I make 10 cents by the end of this year, I'm going to feel like, I'm doing really well on Rumble. But anyway, and then if you're interested in watching the video and you use Spotify, again, I do have Spotify video, and you can go over there and check that out. There's one last thing I wanted to cover here before I sign off with you. As I said at the top of the show, I was remiss. I did the interview with Lito Gomez Jr. and did the bookend and kind of completely forgot about Thanksgiving. And so I wanted to take a moment real quick to, discuss what I'm thankful for and to point out that you guys can call into the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. That's 863-874-0000. Tell me what you're thankful for. I'm curious as to. I like to know what people, and I think it's good to be asked because it gives you a little bit of time for some reflection. But look. Obviously, I'm thankful for my health, my family, my son's continued growth and advancement. There's the typical things. But one of the things that I do want to point out is that this year in August, the Cigar Pulpit turned 5. 5 years of doing this show. Just slightly, I'm going to say right around 550 episodes. It's not quite. There's some pulpit rewinds in there and things of that nature. But, there's well over 500 episodes. And, this was a passion project, and it continues to be. But you guys came out and you supported it, you listen to it, you watch it, you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. And I'm very thankful for each and every one of you for giving me just a little bit of time of your week every week. It's humbling, and it's very it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. And so I'm thankful for each and every one of you listening. I'm thankful for the sponsors of this show. At this point, Aladino is my oldest sponsor. They've been with me for quite some time as the studio sponsor. Justo and Vivian and Trey Mack and all the fine folks over at Aladino. They're wonderful, wonderful people. I wish them all the best with everything. They're kicking ass, taking the top spot in the top 25 for Cigars and Spirits with the Fuma Noche. They just came out with a 10-count box press sampler. You can get it's a sampler for Christmas time, and it's a 10-count box. It's, I believe, 2 of each of their core line offerings, but they're offering them in a box press version. So if you've ever wondered what some of your favorite Aladino cigars would taste like as a box press, well, you can get them now, or at least you can get them for the holidays. So, that's something to look forward to if you're at your shop. Maybe inquire about that. But they're kicking ass and doing good over there at Aladino. Villiger Cigars. I cannot remotely thank Renee Castaneda and the fine folks at Villiger for their continued awesome support. They aside from supporting the show, they stepped up big time and were instrumental in helping produce this year's Pulpit Fest down at the Ash and Ale in Palm Coast, Florida. Renee is he's a true gentleman, and they continue to put out some great cigars as well, including this TAA 2024 that they did with Maya Selva. And I'm so happy for Villiger, and I'm happy that all of you are giving them a chance. When they came to me and we talked about sponsorship of the show and working with me and everything, their goal was to promote the brand, expose the brand to new smokers. And they said, I'll never forget Renee telling me this. He goes, we don't want to be the brand for somebody to where it's like we're to where all they smoke is Villiger. That would be awesome, but it's not realistic. They said we just want to be included in their rotation. We want to have a spot in their humidor, and we just want to be included in their rotation. We want people to give us a try and to just consider us. And you guys have stepped up big time. You've done so, And, everybody that I know that has tried a Villiger has enjoyed it. And so, I want to thank Villiger Cigars for their continued support. And I think there's some really big stuff in the works for Villiger Cigars and myself in 2025. So that's exciting. Renee and I are going to be talking here next week about, a variety of different things. And, I'm hoping that 2025 is a big year for that partnership. Two Guys Cigars. Dave Garofalo has he has been, an inspiration, one part mentor, and just I would consider him. I hope that he would do the same. I consider him a friend. And Dave Garofalo, he was very I don't even know how to put this. When I talked to him about sponsoring the cut, there was no hesitation whatsoever. And, he jumped on the opportunity because, I hope, and I'm putting words in his mouth, and I hope that I'm not wrong here, but I think he recognized the opportunity and the value of showcasing his shop, at least its online presence, to a new audience of listeners. I know there's a number of you that listen to both shows. That's great. I love that. I welcome all the Cigar Authority listeners who want to come over and listen to me as well. I encourage all of my people to go and listen to them. But, in terms of, the fact that he's sponsoring the cut, he recognized that there is a portion of my audience that doesn't listen to his show, but they, need, order, buy cigars. And so, he sponsored the cut, and I am proud to include him as that. That's partially why, with this YouTube situation, I'm not going to remotely change. I'm not going to change the copy that he provided me, that he wanted me to read, for the cut portion, because, he provided that. That's what he wants. And by God, that's what he's going to get. And if I can't do it on YouTube, then I'll do it on Rumble. And if I can't do it on Rumble, then I'll keep doing it on Spotify. And the day Spotify comes to me and says you can't do it anymore either, then I guess I'm just going to have to go door to door to each and every one of your houses. Open the, when you open the door, I'll just be like, hey, go to Two Guys Cigars and buy some cigars. And I'll go to the next house. It's like one of those things. It's just the way it is. So anyway, I cannot thank Dave and the folks at Two Guys enough for everything. I'm very thankful for their support and sponsorship as well. And then obviously our newest sponsor, Blackbird Cigars. Jonas, he's so full of energy, and for years he and I have talked about we got to do something, and we finally figured something out and committed. And we got it going this year, and I'm happy. I'm extraordinarily happy. I hope he is too. I hope you guys, as you've done with Aladino, as you've done with Villiger, I hope you guys are giving Blackbird Cigars a try. They have a really great line of cigars. I really do enjoy them. The Superb is their newest, core line offering, but they just came out with a box press version of, I think it was the Crow, and it's the red one. I think it's the Crow. And, holy shit. I mean, that's a great cigar in and of itself. Now you have a box press version if you're a box press person, but they have fun. And I appreciate a company that is doing their best and having a good time, and I hope to God you guys are giving them a try because, again, I'm very thankful for their continued sponsorship as well. There's other people I'm thankful to. I'm thankful to everybody who has stepped up and come on to the show with me, because doing these solo shows, this was an easy one. I had some cigar news. I had the questions. I had some stuff to fill the time with. But, man, sometimes with these solo shows, it's like it sucks. It's grueling, and I got to do what I got to do. But I recognize that sometimes these solo shows are not quite as solid as ones with other people, and so I appreciate when Noah and Luke and Dave and Cherry and my dad and Trey Mac and there's so many people. Ed Sullivan has been such a blessing in my life, in that not only is he a wonderful individual, and I love his absolutely dry sense of humor. He's easily the funniest part of the Cigar Authority. He comes in with those ninja comments and just goes right back out, and I love that. He, every time I have an issue, every time I mention something on the show saying I have an issue with this, I have an email waiting for me the next morning when I wake up telling me, this is how you can fix this. This is the part you need. Order this part from Amazon. Do this, do that, do this. He has helped me in so many different ways with this, and I am so incredibly thankful that he is so generous with time, because he doesn't have to be. He's got enough going on his plate, that he doesn't have to be, nice and generous and everything. And then, to send me a housewarming gift of some cigars. I mean, the man's a saint. And so I'm very thankful to Ed Sullivan too. But there's so many people that I'm extraordinarily thankful that have come into my life as a result of doing this podcast. And so I felt the need to stop and take a moment and to count my blessings and publicly state that I appreciate each and every one of you. I know there's people I've forgotten and or not mentioned, and if I haven't mentioned you, Ken from Ash and Ale, and all the fine folks at Ash and Ale, you guys have been extraordinarily gracious and welcoming when I've been down there. There's just so many people that I really am thankful for. So, for what it's worth, that would be my Thanksgiving greeting and message. So, anyway, final thoughts on the TAA exclusive 2024. I am about halfway through it. I will say, despite all my talking, this cigar is not going out on me. So it has that going for it. It is a little smokestack. I mean, it is just pumping out the cigar smoke, and I love it. Flavor on it, the card is fairly accurate. I have to admit, I have not really gotten the almonds and the leather and the sweet honey finish. It's also not. That could be my palate though, because I have had 2 other cigars today, plus I've had dinner and everything else. So it could very well be that's just on me. But the brown sugar and a woody component is definitely still on this cigar. The retrohale definitely has that spice or that peppery component to it. It is a strong retrohale. It's that's where the strength of this cigar is. The actual smoking experience of this cigar is I'm not going to say it's mild, but I'm not going to say it's a solid. It's ever so slightly below medium, but the retrohale is what really punches this cigar up and really delivers the impact. So for what it's worth, there's that. But no, I am very, very into this. If you guys are at a TAA store and you come across this, give it a shot. I enjoy it. This is a fun project they do every year. Every year they work with a different manufacturer. I know they've worked with EP Carrillo. I know they've worked with Aganorsa. They've worked with Espinosa. This year, Maya Selva. I'm trying to remember. There's one more, and I'm blanking on it, and I don't believe I'm blanking on it, but I'm blanking on it. And but it's good. It's a fun project they do, putting out this TAA in conjunction with another brand, and it's always different and it's always fun. So for what it's worth, if you find the TAA 2024, it's got this like kind of yellowish, goldenrod color band on it. Give it a shot. I dig it. Anyway, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. Stay safe, stay smoky, and let me know what you're thankful for. Thanks, everybody.